Fish aren't the only animals that abound in the ocean. The ocean is also full of all kinds of mysteries and strange discoveries, from a huge crack found at the bottom of the ocean to a message in a bottle. Welcome to a new video. Here are 14 of the strangest discoveries from the depths of the sea. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to our channel. It's free. Now, let's get started. Number 14. A creature straight out of a nightmare. You're looking at the Darth Vader isopod, one of the most mysterious-looking creatures underwater. This huge, eerie-looking sea cockroach was first discovered off the coast of Java, Indonesia, during the 2018 South Java Deep Sea Biodiversity Expedition. This new species is part of a group known as supergiant isopods, which are closely related to crustaceans like shrimp and crabs. Though they look much more monstrous than their relatives, these isopods are scavengers that roam the ocean floor more than 4,000 feet below the surface, where they feast on the remains of dead marine life, a strange diet befitting their bizarre appearance. Number 13. New crack discovered under the ocean floor. In 2013, scientists discovered a crack in the Earth's crust. There are now many cracks on the planet's surface, but this crack discovered off the coast of Iberia is so large that it could drag Europe and North America closer together and cause the Atlantic Ocean to disappear in about 220 million years. This amazing geological phenomenon may reshape the future of the Earth in ways few of us imagine, although of course not in our lifetimes. There are now huge plates of rock known as tectonic plates that make up the Earth's crust. These plates are constantly moving, driven by forces deep within the planet. Over hundreds of millions of years, the Atlantic Ocean has been slowly widening, and the plates have carried North America westwards and Europe eastwards. However, scientists have now found evidence that suggests this process may be reviving the culprit. This massive rift, an embryonic subduction zone that's forming off the southwest coast of Europe. In this region, the crust is beginning to crack and bend, which could eventually lead to one plate being forced beneath another, a process known as subduction, a slow-motion collision that won't reach its climax for another couple 100 million years. Yet it's still such an intimidating phenomenon to imagine. Number 12. Neon-colored fish. In the remote hair arch of St. Paul Rocks, located 600 miles off the coast of Brazil, a team of divers from the California Academy of Sciences came across a vibrant neon-colored fish, unlike anything they had ever seen before. This fish was found 400 feet below the surface. Now, most creatures that live at this depth seem to have jumped straight out of a nightmare. This fish, interestingly, is comparable to the colorful fish we see near the surface of the water. Named Aphrodite Toides, after the Greek goddess of love and beauty, this creature features a striking mix of pink and yellow colors that seem almost out of place in the usual muted tones of the ocean's twilight zone. This neon creature is only a few inches long and is the first of its kind discovered in the Atlantic, as its relatives were previously. Known only in the Pacific, you see, this fish was so captivating that the divers momentarily forgot about the presence of a six-gill shark swimming right above them. That's how enthralled they were with the colors of this creature. Who would have thought that such a stunning fish would lurk in the dark depths of the ocean? Number 11. Sharks that bite nuclear submarines. What you're looking at is a preserved cookie-cutter shark. They're pretty small, but their appearance and teeth should be enough to intimidate you. Now, while their name sounds adorable, beware, because this little shark, scientifically known as Ius brasilianus, has a fearsome reputation that belies its small stature. Their unique feeding method involves biting cookie-perfect chunks out of their prey, leaving distinctive crater-like openings, hence their name. They eat the flesh of whales, dolphins, and even great white sharks. Their diet ranges from sharks to inanimate objects like underwater cables and sonar domes. Nothing is safe from the ferocious bite of the cookie-cutter shark. In the 1970s, the US Navy's nuclear submarines learned about these animals the hard way when these advanced vessels patrolled the depths of the ocean and began experiencing mysterious damage, oil leaks, severed cables, and compromised sonar equipment. You guessed it, the culprit was none other than the tiny cookie-cutter shark. These sharks targeted the soft rubber and plastic components of the submarines, sometimes forcing these powerful ships to return to port for repairs. Number 10. Deep-sea fish quickly melts if brought to the surface. Deep beneath the waves in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, scientists have discovered a remarkable new species of deep-sea fish that challenges everything we thought we knew about life in the deep ocean. These creatures, known as snailfish, came in pink, purple, and blue colors. They were found in the Atacama Trench, a chasm in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile and Peru that plunges to depths of more than 24,600 feet. You see, these fish are so perfectly adapted to the crushing pressure and near-freezing temperatures of the deep sea that if we tried to bring one to the surface, it would quickly melt into a gelatinous mass. This phenomenon occurs because their bodies are composed primarily of a soft gelatinous substance that cannot withstand the significantly lower pressures and higher temperatures at the surface. In their natural habitat, snailfish are apex predators that thrive in a world where few fish can survive. Their bodies are adapted to an environment with pressures more than 1,000 times greater than that at sea level. Despite their soft, squishy appearance, they are remarkably active and well-fed, preying on the abundant invertebrates that inhabit the trench. Think of it this way: just as we cannot survive the crushing pressure underwater, their bodies would also react negatively to the change in pressure here at the surface. Fortunately, technology allows us to study these creatures without removing them from their natural habitat. Number 9. Man who spent 93 days at the bottom of the Atlantic emerges 10 years younger. Did you know that you can stop aging while staying here on our planet? Joe Dituri, also known as Dr. Deep, is known for his 93-day stay at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, living inside a 592-foot underwater habitat. In itself, it was a feat, but after his 93-day stay, the 55-year-old former US Navy diver and biomedical engineer claimed that since he emerged, he felt lighter. No one imagined the truth behind it. The story turned out that he had become 10 years younger after staying underwater. This extraordinary transformation is attributed to a variety of physiological changes that occurred during his time underwater. Living in a high-pressure environment, Dituri experienced a significant increase in his body's stem cell count, which increased by 1,000% and a remarkable 20% growth in the length of his telangiectasias, which are the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes that naturally shorten with age. These changes collectively contributed to reversing his biological clock by about a decade. Dituri also saw improvements in his reading patterns, a 60% increase in the deep sleep he gained from a crucial stage of sleep linked to physical recovery and overall health. The high-pressure environment of the underwater habitat likely mimicked some of the benefits of hyperbaric oxygen therapy, a treatment known for its regenerative effects on the body. Throughout his stay, Dituri kept busy with scientific research by teaching university classes remotely and even entertaining school children through virtual sessions, making the most of his unique and isolated environment. I don't know about you, but staying underwater for 93 days in a submerged facility doesn't sound too bad, but what about you? Could you stay isolated for 3 months? Let me know in the comments. Number 8. 70-year-old albatross. Meet the albatross. She may not look extraordinary, but this creature is actually the oldest known wild bird in the world, at an astonishing 70 years old. She was first ringed by a biologist in 1956. Albatross have spent decades flying across the Pacific Ocean and return each year to their nesting grounds in the remote North Pacific. Now, despite their age, they continue to raise chicks, proving that age is just a number when it comes to survival in the wild. In a world where most wild birds face countless threats such as predators, food shortages and environmental hazards, the albatross has not only survived but thrived throughout her life. She has survived alongside several mates and successfully raised at least 35 chicks, making her a symbol of resilience and a beacon of hope for conservationists. Number 7. A 7,000-year-old ancient road. Under the calm waters off the coast of Croatia, archaeologists have discovered a 7,000-year-old stone road submerged and preserved under layers of sea mud. Be warned, this is not Atlantis. This extraordinary discovery shows a time when the now sunken Neolithic settlement of Selen thrived as part of the mysterious Avar culture. This ancient road was built under a 13-foot wide road with meticulously stacked stone slabs. This road is thought to have linked the artificial island of Selene to the larger island of Kula, forming a crucial part of the infrastructure that supported the maritime activities of the Hava people. The discovery was made by researchers from Zodar University, who have been exploring the region's submerged secrets since 2021. Building the road was a major feat, especially considering the rising sea levels that eventually submerged the settlement. But despite being underwater for millennia, the road and other remains such as stone walls and tools have been remarkably well preserved, protected by the surrounding islands and their harsh ocean currents and waves. Number 6. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch may seem unbelievable, but it is actually quite the opposite. It is nothing more than a huge vortex of floating plastic waste. The worst part is that it has grown to an alarming size and now covers an area 3 times the size of France. This patch, located between Hawaii and California, contains around 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic and weighs approximately 79,000 metric tons. That is the equivalent of about 500 jumbo jets of garbage floating in the ocean. Efforts to clean up the environmental catastrophe are ongoing. The Ocean Cleanup Project, headed by Dutch inventor Buen Slat, has deployed its state-of-the-art system that recently removed 46,000 kilograms of plastic in just 1 month. This system is designed to capture larger debris, offering a ray of hope in the fight against ocean pollution. Despite these efforts, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch continues to grow, driven by more and more plastic waste entering the ocean each year. There will come a time when, if no action is taken, this patch could lead to humanity's own demise. Number 5. The deepest blue hole in the world. Beneath the serene waters of Mexico's Cherumal Bay lies the Tam Jar Blue Hole, the deepest known underwater sinkhole in the world that plunges to at least 1,380 feet below sea level. The Tam Jar Blue Hole is so deep that despite advanced efforts to measure its true extent, scientists have yet to reach the bottom. In fact, the latest exploration conducted in December 2023 involved a sophisticated piece of equipment known as a CTD profiler that dove into the dark, cold depths of the hole. However, even at 1,380 feet, the profiler hit an obstacle, or perhaps a ledge, and the true bottom remained elusive. The layers of water within the hole even showed different characteristics below specific depths that resemble conditions in the nearby Caribbean Sea, suggesting a complex and possibly interconnected underwater system. What's at the bottom? How deep is it really? These are questions scientists are eager to answer, but for now, this blue hole remains one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. Issue 4. The strange life of the volcano snail. Deep in the Indian Ocean, where temperatures soar and pressures would crush most creatures, lives a snail so tough that many see it as nature's toughest gastropod. The volcano snail, or scaly-footed gastropod, is an incredible creature that makes its home in one of the most unlikely places underwater around hydrothermal vents, underwater geysers that spew out superheated, mineral-rich water. These extreme conditions spell doom for most, but the volcano snail thrives here thanks to its unique armor. This snail is the only known animal on Earth to incorporate iron into its exoskeleton, creating a shell that is not only tough, but also magnetic. Yes, you heard right. This snail shell is a natural metal fortress coated in iron sulfites, including pyrite, better known as fool's gold. Living at depths of between 1.5 and 1.8 miles below the ocean surface, the snail not only faces crushing pressure, but also predators like crabs that have evolved to crack open tough yet scaly shells. Its armor consists of a calcified inner layer, an organic middle layer, and an iron-coated outer layer, and has evolved to be nearly impenetrable. This iron shell dissipates energy, resists cracks, and prevents fractures, making it a near-perfect defense against the dangers the deep sea faces. But there's more to this snail than just its incredible shell. It has a symbiotic relationship with the bacteria that live inside its body. These bacteria convert chemicals spewed out by hydrothermal vents into energy, essentially fueling the snail in an environment where traditional food sources are scarce. The symbiosis is a marvel of evolution that allows the snail to thrive in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Sadly, despite its incredible adaptations, the scaly-footed gastropod is now endangered. The hydrothermal vents it calls home are rich in minerals that attract deep-sea mining companies. Mining could wipe out these tiny but powerful creatures, whose total known habitat covers an area the size of 2 football fields. Conservationists are now racing against time to protect these unique ecosystems from destruction. Number 3. World's largest deep-sea octopus nursery. In 2018, biologists found the world's largest deep-sea octopus nursery off the coast of California near Davidson Seamount, about 80 miles south of Monterey. This extraordinary find revealed thousands of octopuses nesting in the crevices of an extinct underwater volcano 2 miles below the ocean's surface. The octopus garden is unlike anything scientists have ever seen before. Octopuses are typically solitary creatures, so discovering them in such large numbers, thousands of females, many brooding over their eggs, is surprising and significant. The octopuses were found in a unique position with their bodies inverted to protect their eggs, using the heat from hydrothermal springs seeping up from the ocean floor to speed the development of their young. This warmth is crucial as it reduces hatching time from what would be 5 to 8 years in colder waters to just under 2 years. This nursery remains the largest of its kind ever discovered, and only the second deep-sea octopus nursery to be found. The first is located off the coast of Costa Rica. Issue 2. Mysterious metal spheres. The recent discoveries of mysterious metal spheres at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean initially sparked excitement and speculation, with some even suggesting that they could be evidence of extraterrestrial technology. But this does not seem to be the case. It all started when the spheres were recovered by a team led by Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who suggested that they could be fragments of an interstellar meteorite potentially containing extraterrestrial technosignatures. However, closer examination has shown that these metallic spheres are composed primarily of iron, magnesium, and titanium with a surprisingly low nickel content, a stark contrast to what would be expected if they were of extraterrestrial origin. In fact, their composition is consistent with terrestrial industrial byproducts likely of pollution related to activities such as burning fossil fuels, mining, and metal refining. Since the 19th century, these iron-rich spheres have frequently been found during deep-sea expeditions. They are generally understood to be cosmic dust or remnants of human industrial processes, and there is no solid evidence linking them to any particular extraterrestrial event. Essentially, what some researchers had concluded to be a sign of extraterrestrial activity on our planet turned out to simply be man-made pollutants appearing in our oceans once again. The bummer number 1. They discover a message in a bottle that led to a beautiful reunion. Scott Gutterson, a 49-year-old experienced free diver and former Navy pilot, was on one of his regular dives off Murray's Beach. It was a routine that had seen him recover all sorts of underwater curiosities over the years, but in March 2023, he made the most unforgettable discovery just meters away, and as he got closer, he realized it was a glass bottle encrusted with mussel shells, with a message inside. It turns out that inside the bottle was a letter from a young girl called Vicky, written in December 2010 when she was just 10 years old. Vicky's father, a Navy man, had thrown the bottle into the ocean off the coast of Newcastle as a time capsule of sorts. The bottle had been drifting for 88 days, covering over 300 kilometers before it reached Gus's hands. The letter detailed Vicky's hopes that whoever found her message would respond to her, and that's exactly what Gutterson did when he contacted the family. He uncovered a web of coincidences that made the situation all the more curious. Not only had Gutterson and Vicky's father served in the Navy, but they had crossed paths on numerous occasions without actually meeting. This unexpected connection led to the two families meeting in person, where Gutterson returned Vicky's letter. We've reached the end of this video. Tell us what you think in the comments box. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss future videos like this one. See you next time.